If you've ever had a trout refuse in shallow water, it might actually be your fly line casting a shadow or cutting an unnatural path within the water. That's where the clear Camo fly line actually comes in. And it's going to give you that stealth edge when the fish are at the most cautious. Today, we're talking about the clear Camo fly line all in this episode. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Stillwater Edge, the ultimate podcast for stillwater fly fishing enthusiasts. I'm your host, Greg Keenan, and in each short, action-packed episode, I'll share expert tips, essential techniques, and clever tricks to help you elevate your stillwater fly fishing game to the next level.
Welcome back to the Stillwater Edge. I'm your host, Greg Keenan. Today, we're going to definitely talk about the clear Camo fly line. Staple in the still waters. I'm going to give you some reasons why I really like it and why it should be in your box as well. But if you're new to stillwater fly fishing or just starting out, don't forget to grab my monthly PDF. It's free. It's in my newsletters. It's up in my link in the bio, all that sort of stuff. Check it out. Subscribe to the newsletters. Not only that, do I give you a free PDF every month, which is like a cheat sheet, but it also give you an opportunity to win stillwater gear that I use. And I'm not talking hats and t-shirts. I'm talking rods, reels, lines, Sims bags, so much good stuff like that. Honestly, you're going to want to do that just to follow along. Not just to win, but the value that you're going to get from the emails. So now that I've said that, let's jump to it. Main episode right now. Why this line actually matters in still waters. Well, it does. The clear Camo line, 100%, I'm going to get this out there right now, has saved my ass so many times, especially when I'm guiding. When I'm trophy hunting, there's a particular lake where I can only use a clear Camo line in the spring and the fall when those fish are picky. And this line does exactly that. So why this line matters in still waters? Well, the trout, they don't care about bright versus dull colors. What they care about is unnatural shadows. So a shadow of a line going over the lake, when you're casting them, it'll spooky trout. Again, that shadow, it's the overhead shadow of the line hitting lake, even though, no matter what line it is, when it hits the lake, it's going to put a disturbance there and spook the fish. But the shadow, and that's what the clear Camo comes in. It reduces that shadow to almost minimal, right? So a standard fly line can throw a heavy silhouette across a clear lake. The clear Camo is designed to not do that. So the more pressured the trout, the more they're turned off to anything that feels off, right? That's why this clear Camo comes in. It's just a tool for you as the angler to up your stealth, right? And I want you to think about it like this. If you were hunting, you wear camouflage because you blend in. So you're hunting fish in their element. Why would you not use a clear Camo line to blend in, right? Otherwise, you might as well hunt in, jeans and a beer t-shirt, right? Like, I mean, if they didn't care. So it's not really a gimmick at all, the clear Camo line. It's actually a tool, and I stand by that. So, all right, clear Camo lines explained. You know what, really quickly, I don't want to get into too much about it, but clear Camo lines, there's a translucent coating that minimizes the shadow and makes your line less visual, and it's to the fish. That's all it is. It's this clear Camo coating, and it does that. It's also, the clear Camo lines are designed, right? So they're designed to blend that scattered light, breaking up the outline so it blends into the weeds, the marls, and the open water way more easily. And it actually does. And I can tell you this with my own eyes. Why? Because sometimes I'm stripping it in. I can't even see it. I have to look for my fly as opposed to the line, especially when you're down deeper, like 2-3 feet under the water. You definitely see that. So, all right, best times to use a clear Camo fly line. Flat, calm days, 100% flat, calm days. Those flat, calm, crisp kind of morning days where the fish are just so stealthy and picky and whatnot. And I know you anglers all know what I'm talking about. Those are the days you break out the clear Camo, and those are the days you actually get a tank of a fish. The shadows are sharp when the fish are cruising high as well. So not so much along the bottom, because you can allow that to go along the bottom. But when they're in that mid-water column, again, a clear Camo just kicks butt, man. It definitely does. So shallow water shelves, drop-offs, weed beds, obviously, a foot or two below the surface, a clear Camo will kick butt there as well. I've done boatman on clear Camo many times, and it just slays. That's the trick to doing boatman on clear Camo. And you want that to actually to work when those boatmen are diving and swimming underwater. That is a time when that clear Camo comes in, when the fish are targeting them subsurface boatmen. Absolutely. So a lot of other flies, clear Camo kicks butt in. but that's one of them. Scuds as well. So pressure lakes, when trout have been stung too many times by too many anglers, having that clear camo line actually just gives you that edge. So what else is there? A couple of things to consider about clear camo lines. Clear lines can be harder for you to track in the water, 100%. Camo lines usually cost a little bit more, right? But in tough conditions, they earn their keep. So I would spend $10 more, so they might be $10 to $20 more a box than, an intermediate sink, for instance. But that intermediate sink that's green or whatever color it is, doesn't matter. I don't want to call anyone's color out. That's going to cast a shadow and a silhouette. So you're actually doing the reverse. So for an extra $10, $20, you want it, and you're there to catch a fish. You're committed to catching a fish. You might as well spend it because they actually earn their keep. So you don't need clear camo lines on like those super choppy, windy days. The surface is disturbed. The shadows are broken up. It's, you know what I mean? So keep that in mind. So if your lake is always windy, or you're always fishing a trophy lake or whatever kind of lake, and it's always like windy and broken, I'm talking like 90% of the time windy, you can save $20, but whatever, right? I mean, you could save your money if you're only going to fish that lake and whatnot. So, all right. So practical rules with clear camo: keep at least one of them in your setups. You're not always going to use it all the time, but have it, available. So when you are ready to use it, you use it. It is a day saver for sure. I treat them as stealth mode for me. When fish get picky, switching to one might trigger a bite. They're not gimmicks. They're tools for specific conditions when shadows and line presence matter most, right? They're clear camo. That's exactly what they're there to do. And like I said, you would not go hunting a moose in, jeans, a t-shirt, running shoes. Like you wear camo to blend in, and that's what this line does, right? And that's the best analogy I can think about, because you're hunting fish. So there you go. That's it for today's episode. Super quick, super easy. Just a quick reminder, highlight on clear camouflage lines because they're so fantastic, right? But remember, trout react to silhouettes and shadow. Clear camo lines don't make you invisible, but they reduce your presence. And in tough conditions, it's enough to fool any kind of trout. And if you want to learn more about dialing in your Stillwater setup, check it out. My free PDFs every month in my newsletter. I give out free PDF. Those are like nuggets of gold. They're free. You keep them, right? Have a stash of them. That's 12 of them a year I've created, and they're beautifully laid out, and they're free in my newsletter. Subscribe to the newsletter. Not only that, there's other value in the newsletter for you, so it's not just a PDF. You are getting so much value. I can only give you guys so much of my time through the podcast, so I'm doing it in other ways as well. Also, if you're serious about thinking about booking a guiding trip for next season, I don't know when this episode's coming out, but prime dates are always filling up, and the more I'm growing, I am booking up fast. So I'm sure this is going to come out pretty soon here, before spring of 26, but those dates are filling fast, and I want to make sure that whoever's listening, if you want one of those dates, get in touch with me now, right? And let's get you booked up for spring of 26, because that's the prime time. Those are those 30, 40 fish days. That is just insane. You can't even put your lunch down because you're catching so many fish on chironomids, and it's fun. So let's get you out there. Thanks for listening, guys. As always, I will see you on the water.